Jordon, obviously a disappointing result today. How do you reflect on that one?
Yeah, it leaves a slight sour taste, I think it felt on the pitch that, every time they attacked they got a goal. I think when it went 2-0 and all gets a goal back to go 2-1, I thought we had big chances to go 2-2. Roars had a great chance, which would have been an amazing send-off. And a one-on-one as well, I think Roars was close to. So a couple of moments that were maybe we could have done better. Defensively, we lose poor goals. The set pieces were poor, but we've made 10 changes today. That was a choice of us to do that, to give guys that have been outstanding all season in terms of attitude and application the time on the pitch. And it's hard, it's hard when you make 2 or 3 changes, never mind 10. It's not an excuse, but yeah, it's disappointing, especially the last couple of goals. I think when we'd made more subs to change it and we conceded the last couple of goals, it would have been nice if Max took that one away at the end for the kind of top scorer thing between him and Shanks. Would have left a bit of a nice mark, but I think to the fans there that have travelled down to hear Champion has been sung at 6-1 down, and in the last minute of the game just puts a reminder to absolutely everyone what we've done this season, and perspective on that is amazing. We don't like getting beat, we don't like getting beaten that way, but in the grand scheme of things, to be walking away from the season as champions is just amazing.
You followed Rory out today, out the tunnel for a guard of honour as league champions. It was obviously a big moment for him, but a special moment for everyone involved.
It was, yeah, it was. It's always special, that kind of moment, and they don't come around, a lot for people in their careers. So you have to make the most of these. For Roars, look, it was a fit and send off. It was a bit emotional before the game. He's won the most titles, I think, in the lower leagues. Not just for Peterhead. He's scored the most goals. He's had the most appearances. So special guy, special career. It's been difficult for him this year, transitioning into that kind of impact player as such, and it's been hard, but for him, there's not enough words that can describe what Rory's done for this club and what he's done for lower leagues of Scotland. So to have him as captain today was 100% the decision we made, and yeah, it's unlucky he's just not signed off a goal.
Yourself, Ryan and Jamie have obviously just signed new 3-year deals with the club. Going into next season, that must give you guys a massive boost of confidence.
It does. Look, nothing in football is guaranteed, but the faith the board's shown in us, and that discussions have been going on for a few months, but we want to put it on the back burner in terms of what we're doing. We're building real momentum in the league, and we didn't want any distractions. So to get that done so soon after last Saturday was amazing, and to have that security, we can really now start to speak to our network again. It's so important to have Jamie down south. We've got me and Ryan up north. And really start getting the plans in motion, which again, it's cliche, but they have been since last Saturday. We've done a few things this week, but first and foremost, that's out of the way, and we'll try and speak to the ones that are out of contract here, that we want to keep. We've made that clear. So that's a priority. We'll enjoy a couple of weeks, and we'll see where we're at. But no, it doesn't stop, and I think that 3 years is massive, and it gives us real time to make short-term plans, medium-term plans, and longer-term plans, which we'll do. We'll continue to work.
And how confident are you heading into next season? You've obviously got some experience in the higher leagues throughout the squad, but it's still a young squad in general.
Of course, yeah. Look, we want to keep title-winning teams and squads are unique, and we need to keep as many of that winners and mentality in the squad. We've built such a good group, culture-wise and camaraderie-wise. So to replace that is difficult. We'd rather keep the core there, which we have. We've got a good core signed for next season. But League One's going to be a different challenge. It's exciting though. For us, it's exciting. It's felt longer than 2 years being in League Two, but we've put a lot of work in to get out of it. And now, look, you need to improve every year. You can't stand still in football. And we know the restrictions all throughout Scottish football. That it gets harder each year. I think it gets harder and harder to win leagues each year. It gets harder and harder to compete. But we'll start, and we have started, to trying to assemble something and assemble targets that can not only make the group better, but make the starting 11 better as well. There's got to be challenge throughout the squad. There's got to be competition there, non-stop, and that's the best way to get the best out of the guys that are here. I think there's so much improvement in the squad as well. A lot of the guys, like you say, are at a good age, as well as combated with that balance that we've got with guys like Pete and Cammy in the group.